Just so we're clear here, 23andMe, bro. I'm 98.9% white.
Yeah. What? Oh, you sent your fucking DNA to Facebook. Cool.
Not me. My mama. My mama and my
Oh,
brother.
oh, yeah.
Got
Yeah,
fucking
I'm sure
duped
she
into it.
wants you to think that too.
Well, let me run it down to you, communist, homosexual, faggot, dipshit, motherfucker. Fuck you, that's why. 'Cause fuck you, that's why. 'Cause helmets suck, that's why. And commies like you swallow, that's why. Fuck Pete Wilson, that's why. Fuck Dick Floyd, that's why.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Liberty Bowl. So as you can see, we got our new hosts here. We got fucking the old Liberty Swine. We got the Devil King as well, and we're just gonna be ranting and talking about the current events going on in our planet today. Actually, it's not really something like the majority of it has little if anything to do with it. Let's be honest here. It's probably got all to fucking do with America, but generally we're talking about other countries around the world and shit.
It's not really the planet if it's just the surface of it, right?
Right. Right. So we're not trying to govern the mole people just yet. But so let's go ahead and get into this, man. So I wanted to start off with of course, fucking something that gave me a boner. I'm sure most of you guys and fucking a lot of the goddamn liberty-minded people out there, fucking Trump saying that if he's elected, he's gonna purge a large portion of the bureaucracy that is our federal government. What you guys think of that?
I think it's a great idea, and it sounds kind of familiar. I think I've heard that a couple presidential runs in a row ago.
I think I heard from him, actually. So,
I mean, I personally didn't, but I remember that was something that Ron Paul ran on immediately. Was I'm going to cut, several departments immediately upon taking office if I'm elected. But again, I think it's a great thing. Do I think he could accomplish it? I don't know. I think the machine is, been against him obviously from day one, and the machine from top to bottom. But I guess we're going to see because it seems like it's headed that direction.
All right.
what I heard was, or what stands out to me is that was something Tim Pool said, which was, oh, he drained the swamp before just so we can see the swamp monsters. He wasn't getting rid of the monsters. He's going to come back and do that. And
Right, that's the whole
yeah,
40
he
chess
absolutely
shit.
did do that, but it also sounds like BS ploy too,
Right.
So,
Well,
I mean, like, time will tell because I kind of believe he'll be back, but
I mean, either way, the way that politics seems to go is, he's going to come out there, he's going to promise the moon, and then he's going to come back with a meteorite. Like I guess fucking it's at least a step in the right direction. Do I think he's going to really purge all these people straight out the gate? Who knows? It is Trump.
a lot. Well, the thing is that a lot of them fire everybody right off the gate anyway. So,
Oh, yeah. I mean, anybody who's ever had any dealing with any sort of state, federal, any sort of government dealing knows that, dude, you guys are fucking worthless. What the fuck are we paying you for? Like,
Yeah.
literally fucking like, oh, well, you got to talk to the person ahead of me so that way they could talk to their supervisor. They could relay it back to me, and then they got to send it down to my secretary, and then they could relay it back up to, it's like, dude, 98% of your people are fucking useless. What the fuck are you even doing? Like, why are we paying you why are we paying your goddamn salary? So
why not
sure.
start with the DMV for that fucking matter? So,
It's the only field I know of that gets more days off than teaching staff.
just think about how crazy they go every time a president threatens a government shutdown or actually does it, and how little actually happens or doesn't happen when that actually occurs. Like,
Right.
stopgap.
it just proves how useless they. Oh, the government shutdown, didn't even fucking know.
Right.
So,
So you guys went on strike for what? When was that?
and when? How long?
Exactly. If
Gonna
anything,
stop paying them though. That's the thing.
if
You
anything,
never
it was the
stop paying
opposite of a strike. Like fucking they all stopped working and we all realized, well, we don't need you guys. Like fucking generally a strike, like the workers all walk out and fucking
them.
everyone's
It's
like,
supposed to
oh
be a
man,
scare tactic,
we're
like,
crippled
shut
without them.
down, dude. Just so
Right.
you know, we're gonna shut this shit down. It's just like, okay,
Right?
thank you.
It's kind of funny when a fucking strike comes from the top down. It normally doesn't work that way.
And it never works though either. It doesn't
Right.
accomplish anything, and nobody's scared. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
So what's the fucking point?
Well, like I said, it did accomplish one thing. It, opened us up to the fact that we really don't need these motherfuckers.
Right, that.
But
Well, nothing comes out of that either. So
right. Well, I believe it's a long, generational, multi-generational problem, much like the slow march into communism or socialism has been, since the Frankfurt days of the fucking 50s down into the Great New Deal, the fucking Great Deal, or was it
the New Deal?
Yeah, the New Deal,
New
shit like that, and Great Society, like that, all these social safety nets and things like that have slowly fucking coddled us into the everyone voting away their own freedoms in the name of free shit, like a.
Oh, I love that free shit. Where's that at?
There's no such thing though, man. That's the thing.
Oh no, I want yours.
Right.
So.
Right. It's.
Do you see this? This is where we were talking. We're going to get some different views here because
No,
my
that
guy
was
here is
literally
gonna...
talking shit, but also serious. So.
True. So yeah, let's talk about that. A lot of this stuff is necessary. There's the whole extreme libertarian this completely dismantled government.
The ANCAPs, you mean?
Yeah, that the ANCAPs with their volunteerism, like I say, personally, that to me seems a lot more idealistic and far fetched than even communists being able to regulate happiness.
The thing about ANCAPs that get me is they say, okay, well, we can privatize it, and there are all these companies that do that, but there's no way to. Well, here's a dirty word for you. There's no way to enforce that. There's no way to what's the word I'm looking for? Persuade it.
Right.
There's nothing saying they're going to or have to.
It's like a chicken with its head cut off, running around in circles, and see, look how active he is. Look how happy he is. He's running. He's it's like, dude, that's doomed to failure. Just because it looks like he's having a good time. No, dude, there's no driving force behind it. It's just literally the death throes of society, I guess. But like I say, that's my opinion. At the same time, some people need to be preached to, ANCAP, ideals and stuff like that. Because, like I say, it's basically
right. If it makes them change their mind,
right?
Basically.
Like I say, it's I don't feel that at least in America, society is gonna completely collapse, and we're gonna try and someone's gonna try and technically nobody's gonna try to if that's the case in volunteerism and ANCAP and shit like that. Then nobody's gonna try and take the reins. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that.
Isn't ANCAP? I mean, it's almost an oxymoron. I mean, anarchy is to be without governance, but ANCAP is basically replacing governance with a monetary system. It's basically, completely being governed by the dollar.
Right. I don't know. We're gonna have quite a few comments from the new groups that I just added in on Discord, man. They seem like most of them are all ANCAPs, but
Discord will ban us too. So
yeah. But that's the thing, we try to be a intellectual, here for the most part as much as we can. Like I say, I'm not college educated. I don't know if you're college educated, but
I am. I'm the smartest
oh,
dude.
okay.
I'm also the only white guy here, so I don't know about that. So.
I guess to what extent? Because technically, if you ask the society at large, I'm a white supremacist, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, but you can be like.
I believe in fiscal responsibility, and I believe in trying to make my community a better place, and I don't believe in basically trying to be a professional.
You're just asking to get this shit taken down, aren't you?
Right. If that's the case, that's what I say.
Jesus Christ,
we're on Rumble.
Doing?
We're hopping on BitChute. We're all over the place. We're on.
Oh, BitChute's the place to go for sure. That's my favorite other one, really. But I need to make.
I mean, if you want to be real, if you want to be realistic, as much as it's censorious and you don't want to feed the demon as far as ABC Inc. The real way to go is YouTube. Unless you have a following already to take with you, it's pretty hard to get a foothold on alt tech. It really is.
Right. That's why I say, like at least building up off of YouTube and stuff like that. That's why it's it's necessary, just because it's a lot easier to do building up off of YouTube, because of course everybody got fucking YouTube, but at the same time, just their highly censorious ways and things like that. All it really means is basically we just have to abide by the basic rules. Don't talk about the safest and fairest selection of all American history.
I think the intro song might get us some strikes, to tell you the truth.
I've actually already they've tried to remove it. I've already won that one with YouTube. So they've tried to remove quite a few of my videos, and I just argue the point, like like most of these fucking video clips that I get are from YouTube, and you guys are trying to remove my videos for showing things that are from YouTube already. So that, that's usually the way that I get them. But either way, that's
Facebook tactics.
Right. Right, like it's already on here. Like, what are you taking them down my account for? But that's kind of how I did it with the Alex Jones interview, or the Alex Jones Mike Tyson interview that I commented on, because that one got like
oh, I didn't even see that.
That one got up to like 400 500 views. Something.
I never actually saw the real thing, to tell you the truth.
It's pretty cool, man. Check it out on InfoWars. Like I say,
I love Mike Tyson.
Dude, fucking, and Alex Jones at the same time. Just imagine the melding of the two together. Have you seen a Mike Tyson's Hotboxing podcast?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one of the favorite things I've seen of him. I can't remember what it was. Just shitting on somebody because he's on mushrooms all the time. So
right. It's pretty crazy though. I mean, it really, like I say, you take somebody like fucking Mike Tyson. He's literally fucking the epitome of fucking
baddest man on the planet.
Exactly. And yeah, he tries something like fucking 5-MeO dimethyltryptamine, and fucking it completely changed his fucking world. It completely changed his worldview and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's just crazy, because you think this guy's just a straight brute, And now, dude, he's goddamn philosopher, dude. Like, people come like to get some fucking Mike Tyson wisdom, Like, it's pretty crazy just to see the power of psychedelics,
Sure.
But,
so what's the topic?
So I want to let's get away from the whole fucking American politics, Trump Purge and stuff like that. Let's get into the Republican Party shooting them goddamn selves in the foot with this whole fucking so they had their fucking victory with Roe v. Wade and stuff like that,
which was stupid.
Yeah, like I said, but at the same time, it was liberals that really kind of brought that on themselves, with trying to push, abortion up to and including 9 months and fucking birth and post-birth and shit like that.
It was just really stupid timing.
It's what got the courts to start to re-examine the issue of Roe v. Wade, and that's when they decided that it was unconstitutional. Well, not so much that it was unconstitutional, that it wasn't a constitutional right. Basically, they're trying to argue that it's a constitutionally protected right to abortion based off of the 14th Amendment, which is the right to life, liberty, and property. They're saying that that's what protects your ability to life, liberty, and property is the ability to choose when you have children and stuff like that. But at the time when the amendment was written, abortion was outright illegal everywhere. There was not even a discussion about it. It was just no, So that's kind of where they came with the argument as to no, it's not a constitutionally protected right. Just the fact that you use some mental gymnastics to twist some words around and make it seem that way back in the day. Well, now we're going to overturn that, and now it's going back to the states' rights. Which, of course, I agree with states' rights and stuff. But like I say, it was just
should have been.
It was just the libs playing with fire, and they got burned. And then now
they could have did something about it the whole time too.
What was that?
Like, actually ratify it in some kind of way. I mean, like,
right.
This is
they always
case law, essentially.
Right. They always keep complaining too, like oh, we had all these decades and all these times when we had the majority and we could have codified codified the ruling and stuff like that, and we didn't. We should have done it all this time ago. Like, of course, hindsight's 20/20, but then at the same time now they're just wasting Congress's time and all this stuff, like or they're just wasting the court's time with that they're trying to re-examine gay marriage now. Like me and Ryan just talked about gay marriage, I think like last episode or something like that, or before or something like that, or basically I guess the idea on it is basically, who gives a shit?
I'm not even sure. Are they actually even doing that though?
I doubt it.
I don't even believe so. Well,
actually,
I think it's just off
Because,
of
like-
hearsay of what Clarence Thomas had to say. I mean that's what I believe. It's just it's backfire from leaked shit and his personal opinion.
right. But I don't. I did see that they took some sort of vote on it to I think protect
That was the
marriage.
Democrats trying to protect it, though.
Yeah, trying to protect it.
So that's just
throughout the
them
states.
trying to put
It-
something out there.
It did pass though, but at the same
After
time,
50 years.
like I say though, the issue is, who the fuck cares, dude? We're fucking
Yeah, let
economy
it
is
pass.
falling apart, dude. Fucking, we don't have gas. Fucking, we don't have food. Fucking, grain shortages are going on. Fucking, apparently now they just fucking said monkeypox is a pandemic now too. Like fucking, it's we got a lot bigger fish to fry right now.
Speaking of grain shortages, that kind of goes into the Russia thing too. Something I thought I pointed out to you, Swine.
Yeah. And then, as far as the gay marriage thing, obviously it's just a distraction. This is desperation moves. This is political theater. This is to try to cling to power, to rallying cry, come vote against the tyrants on the right,
Right.
I mean, you've seen these interviews here recently where, I mean, these people are literally saying, like, if you're a Republican, you're an extremist. I mean, a
Right.
Republican? These are these stuffy guys that change nothing and give every chance that they get. I mean, they're jellyfish, and I mean, that's laughable at best, and obvious, again, political propaganda, at worst.
Right.
But like Larry just said, as far as that's concerned, I don't care about that. That's the furthest thing from my mind. I mean, a for or against.
Right.
Without even putting my personal opinion in it, like you just said, who cares?
My personal opinion is I think that's probably the only good thing that Obama actually did, was like, we were left behind or whatever, and now I'm going to go out there and find hubby, I guess. So, whatever, but like,
Obama was
just like, you should
wasn't Obama against gay
absolutely
marriage?
be allowed to do that. It's just the Puritans get worried about the groomers, which is that the thing that's tagged on Twitter too. You can't say groomer on Twitter anymore.
that only when you're using it in a derogatory term.
Oh, you can use it positively though.
I guess so. If only if you're using it to,
Right, if
to
you're-
insult somebody. If you're calling somebody
I
a
was
groomer.
worried, and now I gotta try harder to overturn my ban
Right.
because I
It's,
have to go
if-
out there and groom some motherfuckers.
It's if you're a dog groomer or something, you're allowed.
Oh, well, no. No.
Dude, speaking-
that sounds weird, dude.
Speaking of which, fucking last night, just for fun, I made a TikTok I made a TikTok channel for the Liberty Bowl.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We lasted all of 5 minutes, you guys. we're out.
Thank God.
we're off TikTok now. Son of a bitch.
Woo! Lasted as long as I did on Twitter.
Right? Yep, they banned us already. Like every fucking news was like, "Hey commies, how's it going?" So fucking, I got a question for you guys. I'm like, yeah, fucking.
Did you do this number?
Right. No, I didn't get that far. It's pretty much just talking a whole bunch of shit, asking about the Chinese
you ain't
Uyghurs,
gotta talk,
stuff like
just right
that.
there.
Asking about fucking like, oh, why, asking about fucking the koofs and things like that. Just things that are gonna get me obviously banned, and of course just talking shit against the Chinese government, stuff like that, just because it's funny.
Joke's on you, motherfucker. You ain't on there.
That's the thing. I didn't really care. I literally created it to see how fast I could get kicked off. I uploaded the intro video, and they're like, "No, absolutely not." But
The only place I've ever been censored or banned, man, is Facebook.
the old Spacebook.
Yeah, no other platform has ever banned my shit.
See, you don't even have to do anything. Fucking just as soon as you get back, they're like, "Oh, we reviewed some other stuff that you posted a couple years back, and guess what?
do
You're
not
gone again."
need to do anything on Facebook to get banned. Trust me.
Right.
Yeah,
What,
I think this guy spent like 9 months out of the last year banned or something.
at least. Oh no, at least this year I think I've been free for a grand total of like 3 weeks so far.
Right.
I spent 2 hours one time got unbanned, 2 hours later banned. But I was permanently banned on Twitter over commenting on a wrestling gimmick. With that stupid, I'm wondered why I've never even got a warning on YouTube just through comments, though. I mean, like, I'm not a producer or a creator or anything, so fucking count your days, motherfucker. That's what I'm telling.
Yeah, either way, like I said, fucking, if at the age of censorship, you know, like I feel like it's a topic that we try to touch on quite a bit. You know, like I feel like granted, yeah, certain things, you know, I guess you can't talk about, you know, for obvious reasons. You can't fucking incite riots. You know, you can't fucking you can't.
That's illegal shit, though.
Yeah. But at the same time, like I feel like a lot of the big tech censorship, it's I mean, it's exposed to everybody. Just I don't know. Just my hope is, I guess, fucking alt tech platforms will come up, or maybe, you know, they'll finally just designate places like Twitter and stuff like just a town square or a public square where basically, you know, people are allowed to say what they want. But like I say, that's a pretty you know,
we've been talking about it for a long time.
Yeah,
is the thing.
It's pretty amazing to me that people are like the truth comes out or something, right? And everyone's flocking at first. They're like, this is going to be this free speech platform, right? And we've already seen they're censorious as well. But my point where I was going with that is there is alternate platforms right now that are 100% free speech, that are, you know, pretty well funded, have a lot of their own systems and infrastructures in place, and people act like they don't exist.
Right.
It's pretty wild.
A couple have gone under, or not gone under, but been called out on that. I want to say Gab, or something else that's not Gab. But at one point, I want to say about 6 months ago or so, that they came out with this kind of censorious statement from the CEO, I want to say.
Definitely not Gab. Andrew Torba is.
It was
all about free speech.
Getter. That's what I want. It was Getter.
Yeah, I can fully see that. that like truth is a Republican stronghold echo chamber.
Right. But I even made the point with Truth when I was talking about fucking Hunter Biden. You know, back when the iPhone fucking got hacked and shit like that, and like you were saying, dude, like fucking when it first happened. Massive fucking XXX fucking shit all over fucking Truth Social and shit like that. Fucking horrible shit. Fucking when you go to fucking try and, like, you know, look at it later on, gone. You know, it's like, yeah. Which of course, you know, I could understand, you know, fucking especially because they're saying there's things like child pornography, shit like that. You know, like Hunter in compromising positions with underage people.
I've seen that actually on Twitter itself.
Yeah, but I mean, like have you seen like actual videos and things like that?
Yes, on Twitter. I mean, when they find them, they get rid of them and shit.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is it's Truth Social as well. You know, this supposed
When I joined Truth, I automatically got added by 200 bots. The day I joined.
Right. I think I got like 275 followers on Truth, and all I do is just spam the Liberty Bowl episodes. You know, but
I post too much anti blue line stuff. Appreciate it.
Like I said, I'm not a Christian conservative, so they really don't like me on Truth that much. Yeah, but so let's get into fucking monkeypox, you guys. So we talked about gay marriage, you know, fucking. I actually kind of wanted to make a little bit of a tangent, you know, fucking. So we know that fucking monkeypox is a largely you know 98.9% in the gay community. So I guess maybe the Republicans can try and use that as like, oh, that's why gays can't get married, monkeypox, you know, like. But that's kind of a far-reaching tangent.
I didn't get a lot of anal when I was married, so I don't know how the gays are. So I don't get it. So
it's because you weren't willing enough. You need to be a free thinker.
I was, but no, I'll tell you what. Swine sent me the link for CNN for this story, and I clicked on it, and the first thing I saw was this video clip of this guy on there, and I'm like, before I even click on this, I can look at him. It's a monkeypox story. I already know what he's about. All right, and then the caption under it. The caption, no, it wasn't. The caption under it was, listen to this man's story about how he contracted monkeypox, and I'm like, Oh no! Don't do that to
Like,
me.
dude, this
I
does not
don't
belong
wanna
in
know.
this belongs
I'll
in like
tell you
some,
what. I
some
did
gay
actually
gay
click
porno
the
magazine.
video. I clicked the video and it confirmed my suspicions that yeah, I'm pretty sure I know how he caught monkeypox.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah, and then the super spreader event in Germany, like at the beginning of
oh,
it.
we're not going to talk about that
Right,
too.
let's,
Right?
let's not get banned for that. Fucking, I don't want to get banned for fucking talking about some grody stuff. But it's pretty crazy. What is it? The World Health Organization is declaring it another like pandemic type thing that everyone should get
Well, maybe in
vaccinated
their
for.
office.
You know what I say is just stay away from the brown eye and wash your hands, man. And
Right.
you know what I mean? Same
Right.
processes that have kept you well up into the majority of your life to now. It's
Social
I'll tell you
distance with your
what.
butthole, people. Keep that
I've
butthole
had
socially
I've had
distant.
strep throat way too many times, and you are absolutely right. So, yeah, stay away.
All right. Orange juice. No, not in your butthole, guys. Drink orange juice. Drink it. Right, man. Pretty funny shit, Fucking. Well, let's before we get flagged for disinformation, let's move on to the old Russia. So fucking I guess they in the media they came to some sort of agreement. Of course, we're not Russians. We don't know what's going on over there. I guess to the fullest. We could only I guess go off of what we can read in the tabloids and everything. But apparently, it says that they reached a deal to help try and alleviate some of the global food shortages and stuff by coming to an agreement on grain shipments and things like that. And then the very next day, the headline is Russia bombs their ports. So there went that deal. So what do you guys think of that?
My thought is two different things. One, I only skimmed the article, so I'm assuming this is that province that was cut off from Russia.
I believe so. Let me see.
I can't remember. It starts with a K.
this is one of their main ports in the Black Sea there.
Right,
So,
but
I
it's
mean,
cut off from Russia.
Yeah, the Odessa port.
Where is that?
I would guess Odessa.
Whatever.
I don't know.
No, but the main point I got out of the article that I read is that it said that no grain storage was actually destroyed, which I thought would have been like a main talking point. So that almost kind of like makes it seem like it has some kind of credibility too, because wouldn't they want you to think, oh, Putin's taking all the grains from the world,
Well,
So
of course they would want you to think that, but at the same time, is that what the reality is? You know what I mean? If like I say, if that was the case, then yeah, he probably would have hit their grain supplies and things like that. What I think it is
that's not the goal. That's just what they blame him for.
right. So who knows, man? We could get some real Alex Jones shit, and it wasn't even fucking Russia that hit him. It was fucking the Americans. They're fucking hit it, and they're trying to false flag it on
Fucking
Russia.
could have been, dude. What are you talking about?
Right, but yeah, so fucking there's that whole false flag theory, but maybe it wasn't fucking Russia. Maybe
That's why I thought it wasn't, is because they made it a point to say all the grains are fine.
right.
Because we got this food shortage and everything, and
But at the same time, I guess it could to an extent make some sense. Okay, like we're in war and stuff like that, but. And I could kind of completely cut you off from being able to ship out your stuff to the rest of the world, which would completely fucking cripple you guys. So, but no, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go ahead and send out your stuff. So there's the idea that maybe he's just like, yeah, no, you guys can fuck off. You guys can die. You guys can fucking either you guys can be assimilate to Russia or no.
I also got the idea from the story is that this whole thing was brokered by the UN.
Right.
In which case, if I was Putin in this position that I've been in with this idea is, why am I going with your deal anyway? This is between us.
Right.
So, like, what the fuck does the UN have to do with any of it?
Well, it's the whole.
Some of it was from neighboring countries, Turkey and whatnot, and they were part of those UN countries were part of the negotiations. It wasn't like you had like a bunch of Western Europeans there or whatnot. You know what I mean?
I just wish I knew this. There's this province that's caught off. Is that the one we're talking about? Starts with a K.
I don't believe so. I really
Okay.
don't believe so. Like I said, I mean, their grain silos are just not far from the area, and they're full. I mean, I've seen pictures afterwards where they said they're going ahead with the shipments anyway, like
Okay, good.
while preparing to.
Fuck it. Why do
You
I
know.
care?
Right, and apparently there wasn't extensive damage, but I don't know. I mean, it's hard. I mean, you could see it from both ways, right? I could
Right.
see it as it could be a setup. Let's blame Putin, right? Oh, Pooty Poot, or it could also have been, like you said, almost like a false brokerage as far as you know. Well, okay, Putin, a representative signed off on this, but Putin himself was like, hell no, man,
I
rock
never
them
agreed to
things
this
real
shit.
quick.
Right, because this is
Yeah.
through the UN.
Right.
Like, and Russia's made it clear that they're not interested in that. That's why this is happening.
Right.
So,
It's I think it's kind of like a World War II, again type thing. If you want to call it World War III, but it's, I don't want to call it that just yet because that's gonna suck if that's what it is. But at the same time, I think it's kind of like the globalist world order, and the shit like that. But versus
the liberal world order, they changed the
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, I think it's just basically that the giant fight for that because I know Putin put out a statement that it went out on Infowars. They talked about it on Infowars. Basically just talking about the reasons for everything going on. Then he basically says that during the pandemic, all these certain nations that hold the world reserve currency and stuff like that began frivolously printing money, which of course devaluates all these people that hold U.S. debt. It devaluates their own money because of course inflation. When you inflate the U.S. dollar, again, I'm not a college educated person, I'm not no economist and stuff like that, but I do understand the basics of inflation and stuff like that. When, especially when all these people hold reserves in U.S. dollars, and then you completely inflate the U.S. dollar to where it's basically worthless. Of course, the rest of the world's going to get pissed off. And then at the same time, places like China and all these BRICS nations, they're seeing the United States basically sanctioned Russia's economy by fucking basically just using the U.S. dollar or the U.S. fucking world reserve currency and stuff like that to basically just cripple them and stuff like that, and it's basically showing the rest of the nations like what's to stop America from doing that to us, and so of course that's why it seems like a lot
Well,
of these,
because they're doing better than we are now.
Yeah, and a lot of that's due to our own fault. It's
Yes.
mostly because of us.
It's also
Not us,
a good-
sitting here on this panel, by the way.
Right.
So,
a good way for the lizards to look at it is it also decreases the value of debt, right? So all these this debt that America owes out, they're going to be able to basically pay it back for pennies on the dollar because the dollar ain't worth shit. And then obviously you would assume that their hope is to then turn value around, or the whole Great Reset, or they're going to move on to a different currency.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's
Which
been
is
the U.S. petrodollar, and that's
Right.
not worth anything now. And
Right.
that's been since the last 2 years, both with the Keystone, both with the pipeline through Germany, and now the sanctions against Russia as well.
in reality, it's been a much longer thing than that. I mean, since the inception of the Federal Reserve, 1913,
Oh, yeah,
the dollar's lost
we don't have
95% of its buying power.
Yes.
And I mean, obviously, I'm not one to tote like a full gold standard. I think that's pretty idiotic because we see where the price of gold is.
Then
But I mean, but silver, something tangible, is what holds value, and that's what's going to actually move something forward. And that just like Bitcoin, right? That's what gives its value, is its limited amount. So
Yeah, the scarcity, right? But that's, I guess, if I can like I say, if I can no economist, but it seems like with this whole quantitative easing that has come about from the stimuluses and things like that, and if I can just the Fed completely just frivolously printing out money and stuff like that, it seems like it was an obvious fucking thing that was going to happen. everyone was saying, fucking, you continue printing this fucking money and just handing it out like this, it's gonna fucking cause massive inflation. And basically, it's not like it's something that's overnight. It's something that's gonna happen. You're gonna really see the effects. A
It
couple years
was
later.
pretty quick in this case.
Right. But that's what I mean. It's not like
They
they
were facing top.
printed out all this money, like with the first stimulus and stuff like that, and then all that money was basically worthless. With the first stimulus that came out and stuff like that, $1,200. People were like, damn, that's a decent check. Now $1,200, you're getting a $1,200 check. Right now you're getting a $1,200 check. It's like, dude, what am I gonna do with this? This ain't enough. This is like a fucking week's pay now.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why you got kids. Kids are getting paid, $15-$16 to go flip burgers at, McDonald's. And minimum, it's well over what the minimum wage is, obviously, because it ain't worth shit.
Right. And at the same time, I feel like a lot of these fast food places that are paying them, like wages, like McDonald's and fucking, all these like $20 an hour for fucking, flipping burgers and shit like that. It's not a sustainable fucking business model. I mean,
They've got
I don't eat
billions.
fucking fast food for shit
They
no
got
more, man.
reserves, so
Right.
that's what
But
they're banking on.
at the same time, they also had to readjust it in their pricing and stuff like that. Now fucking you can't feed fucking two people, at McDonald's, you can't buy two meals at McDonald's for like less than $35-$40. It's fucking
Well, then
outrageous.
don't do that then. Why would you do that?
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. That with that business
That's what
model,
we've been
people are
trying to
going
tell you
stop
for
going.
years.
People are going to stop going, and they're going to fucking go under. Fucking if people can't afford to pay $40 for two fucking meals, they're not going to. And in which case, bye McDonald's. Bye all these fucking like fast food chains that fucking they went from $1 menu, now they got a $5 menu. Now
Yeah,
now it's a value.
McDonald's is going to be a government chain before it's all said and done. Come on.
Yeah, probably fucking inject their mind control fucking stuff.
They're so green.
Right.
Wink, wink. Foreshadowing, by the way.
We're gonna
They're too big to fail, bro.
yeah. And unfortunately,
Yeah, that's how our government looks at those type of situations.
right.
They're like, oh, you don't want to eat there, or you can't afford to eat there? Well, we'll just go ahead and throw them a bunch of money that you're
Right.
going to be on the
We'll
hook
just
for
take
to
it
pay back
directly
in
out of your
taxes.
check. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't
Yeah.
get
Well, they took home ec out of the schools, so.
right? The schools, man. Oh, gee, let's get started on the school, man. Schools need to
Oh,
complete fucking
yeah,
overhaul.
let's do that.
But so we'll save that one for another episode. I don't want to make these too long. Like I say, fucking people tend to.
Didn't we have a couple more
Yeah,
things?
we got a couple more things I wanted to touch on. So
Like the freedom.
right. Well, yeah, right. Let's just go ahead and just get into that, I guess. Fucking so Canada. Fucking Canada, I guess fucking freedom is trending, because fucking
Freedom.
Canada is starting to adopt these fertilizer and fucking basically these agriculture regulations that we literally just a couple months ago saw lead to the overthrow of fucking governments in Sri Lanka and the fucking protests and fucking I don't even know what you want to call them, fucking the ones in the Dutch fucking farmers and shit like that.
The same shit happened to South Africa about 2 years ago, and that just washed under the bridge.
And the Italian government was just dissolved.
Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing it all over the place. So Canada, they're like, man, look at that, look at Sri Lanka. Oh damn, look at over there, look at the fucking Dutch. Like, well, you guys want to do that next or what? You're up next.
Let's do that.
That
Plan,
was a good
dude.
idea. Those people are going to be under control because they're going to really need government once they really start starving out. That's the idea of fucking. That's why I say fucking. My idea as to why fucking anarchism can't work is basically because it's the whole fucking left wing conspiracy, fucking dark psychology is basically that fucking chaos and disorder is going to always crave order.
Is that a Charlie Manson shirt?
It sure is. Right? They even tried saying that was his,
the
that was
hair
his
at the
theory.
top, and I'm like, wait a second.
Weren't they even trying to say that was his theory, that he was going to start a race war, and that fucking, the blackies were going to come out on top. Of course, we all know, anybody that's read into any sort of Manson trial and stuff like that, it was nothing even close to what it is. That was just what the media sensationalized it to be. But wasn't it about
he didn't kill anybody? That's all I know.
Right.
So,
but they're trying to say that so we gotta the blackies got to get on top, and we're gonna start this race war. Helter Skelter's got to get kicked off, and got to get jump started and stuff like that. The blackie's gonna be on top and stuff like that. But once he gets to the top, he ain't gonna know what to do when he gets there, and so he's gonna need the white person to come and tell him how to do it. So that's when we're gonna come out of the underground and we're gonna show up. That's basically they're trying to say.
So how do you Mexicans feel about that?
I don't really give a shit, but that was basically.
I'm talking to you too, swine.
But that's
my family's from Finland, brother.
Yeah, it shows. It shows.
It's because he's been out in the Arizona sun, man. It burns you.
Right.
But
I slave for a living, bro.
But it just really shows the gaslighting, because that's literally what they're trying to do now. They're trying to fucking create race wars, and then fucking it's all these fucking.
I saw a meme recently where this mom was like, my kid just told me, or wait, my teacher friend just told me a kid wrote this paper where it's just like, even though the Matrix was written in the late 1900s, the messages still hold true today. And it's just like, yeah, that's what the fucking movie's about, dude. So.
Right. It's old Blurry's political spectrum with the ism, except for it's like science fiction and philosophy and political science all rolled in there with the 1984, the Matrix. All it's the spectrum.
Right.
Also introduced to the red pill.
Right. Yeah, at least fucking it makes for good I guess fucking entertainment on YouTube when we get to fucking Red Pill Society and shit. But like the whole fucking sci-fi, it seems like they seem like they predict fucking futures and things like that. At least to an extent, or I don't know if they so much they predict it, or maybe it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy type thing. Like they just kind of plant the idea out there, and that's the way it goes. I have this fucking this conspiracy theory about conspiracy theories and how they're just fucking monitoring conspiracy theorists, and they're just like, oh, well, we're not doing that, but that's a good idea. Why aren't we doing that?
Yeah, well, I think you might be contributing to that right now, if you don't mind shutting the fuck up. So
that's why that's how they get free intellectual property. They don't have to pay anybody. Man.
They just
listen to everybody online.
Right. Like,
also, if you wait long enough, it becomes free, I think.
Right. Like what was the difference between the truth and a conspiracy theory? Fucking 6 months. So I say that's about how long it takes for them to implement those fucking types of things. Fucking, you guys been seeing the little drone flies flying around your house lately? They got cameras, bro.
I live in the middle of nowhere, man. You know what I mean? I see
squirrel that you saw out the window? Ain't no squirrel.
The only thing that can live in Arizona is robots anyway, so.
Right. Robots and Mexicans.
Robots, Mexicans, and the fucking Mars rover.
Don't worry, if you're not Mexican, the sun will make you Mexican soon enough out here.
Sun's about to make me a fucking puddle is what it's about to do.
Bro, you look like you haven't seen the sun in like at least 2 years.
It's my fucking light. I set it to a certain temperature. This is why I'm here. Wait until I turn it off, I'll turn blue.
He's up there in northern Michigan, man. You got to have lights on you all the time where they go in seasonal depression and whatnot.
You'll see my fucking veins through my skin.
I can shine a flashlight through you real quick.
Right? I don't even own a winter coat anymore, dude. I don't fucking care.
Right, so before we kind of cut it off, see, Ryan had something he wanted to drop on us. It's a bit of a theory, if it can. I guess he wants to go into a bit of a replacement theory here. So let's, without further ado, give the floor to the old swine here. What you got, man?
It's not even necessarily about like me having a theory. It's about the theory. I mean, I know you and I have listened to some stuff here recently that you hear this constantly, that it's this Republican or right-leaning thing, this replacement theory, but yet they're the only ones talking about it. Right? Is the left. Right. And then when you actually pay attention to what they're writing themselves, their antics and whatnot, even statistics, it's not even a theory. I mean, it's necessarily moving forward.
Right.
It's I mean, whether it's voter replacement, cheap labor, however you want to have it, it's from both sides of the aisle. I mean, obviously the Republicans themselves stifled Trump for closing the border, and the left openly pushes for open borders.
Right.
And now you have the Libertarian Party so infiltrated with disenfranchised leftists that's all they're preaching as well.
Right.
And even as far as the Libertarian Party goes, it seems as if you're right leaning, like there's not a place for you anymore. You know what I mean? To me, that's the exact explanation why Ron Paul was disinvited to their convention. A couple years back. It's been a steady work towards the left, the Overton window, obviously. And I'm not talking about it being a racial issue, because you could be from any color. I mean, if you refer to like the bell curve and whatnot, it's more about geographics, where you're from. I shared some stats with you, some graphs earlier, for you to get a little idea. But it's the demographic change in our immigration system has drastically changed the country. And statistically, besides maybe like Cubans, maybe even Venezuelans at this point, but statistically, people that come from third world poorer countries, they tend to vote for larger government, cradle to grave, social programs and whatnot. And most of them, I mean, you see a lot, they cordon off into themselves. That's where you get like, little Mexico, Chinatown, stuff like that, instead of actually assimilating. And so they take advantage of, the benefits and I don't mean like, actual benefits. I mean, of just being here, a capitalist society, but then, they try to remove themselves from the actual society, keep themselves apart.
Right.
And it's a really odd situation to be in. I mean, obviously, at one point, America was all immigrants, right?
Right.
But, there comes a point where like a Rome issue, you got to shut it down. I mean, all these systems are overwhelmed, food shortages, everything's high, inflation.
Not to mention the legal slavery too.
Right, exactly. That as well. I mean, that does happen, but like him and I are down here pretty close to the border, and we don't see a lot of that. Most
Go to
there's
a
a lot
Depot,
of
really.
But I mean, there's a lot of like little business owners, and they cruise around and get paid cash and get paid pretty well, actually.
Right. Right. If I can, like we say, when it comes to
But they ain't paying taxes, so are you jealous? That's it.
Of course, I don't think anyone in America should be paying taxes, but at the same time, it's a strictly take situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's proven,
dude. You better keep fucking paying your taxes.
I mean, it's proven that like $70 billion a year is sent to third world countries to support families.
That is some ridiculous. We just did it not too long ago over a particular thing that we created.
Right.
So, like that's.
But it's time to fix the mistake.
It's like when you start talking about like, well, who's getting this money? Even when you're talking about like poor Americans and shit, it's like they ain't necessarily getting it either. Like, you've got Republicans, and I'm talking about like conservatives, saying, okay, look at somebody in a situation like I'm in, where I'm just sucking on the tit as far as they're concerned, but what in the fuck are you going to do about it? And also, what else are you going to do while you support your troops, So,
well, obviously,
dumping your money. That's where is it going, though?
This is one of those difference in opinions again. This push has been strictly, started originally by the left. It's really started with JFK, signed into law by Johnson, the Immigration Act. And that's
Johnson,
what changed the demographics.
Took his place,
right? Exactly, right. And I mean, it's so it's been a Democrat thing up until recently, where you see the push for cheaper labor because of inflation. Americans want 20, $1 an hour or whatever for a remedial job, where these other people come in and they're like, dude, I'll take 15. That's fat, and comparatively.
Right. If it's even
But
15 when we're talking about illegals on the border, too.
right. But like I was saying, even with benefits, it's not necessarily like social benefits or whatnot. Like I said, I was referring to the benefits of being here. Statistically, more white people actually collect benefits, like statewide, like state benefits and whatnot.
More white people to begin with.
Exactly. That's where I was going to go. I mean, but that's something that's used against when you're talking about immigration stats. That's one that's automatically usually used against you as well. Well, more white people collect, but we're 41% of the population, and then you also look at taxes paid in, and it's the upper level that pays in the vast majority. And again, you're talking a ratio that leans more white than anything.
Well, that sounds like some Ed Poll shit you were just saying too. It's just like white people are paying in, so it should go to white people.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
Plain devil's advocate, but it did sound kind of Ed Poll-y.
Well, it's directly linked to what you were saying about the population situation.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
it's just a counter. It's just a counter argument to the whites collect more than anyone else.
Because,
you know what I mean?
Of course they do.
Right.
Right. I'm one of them. So.
You, Blair, what do you think?
Right. So I say we've had this conversation a bit here and there. I think we did one on the Liberty Chats a while back about immigration, things like that, and we kind of noticed that it seemed like a lot of the first generation immigrants and stuff like that are really seem like they're trying to get up to a better life, and it's once they get indoctrinated into, once they're kids rather, and the next generation seem to get indoctrinated into the Americanized values of oh well, all you need is some bling and some fucking swag and and your food stamp card and you'll be okay. Like that's once, like I say, I think it's not so much granted, of course, I'm not advocating for open borders. Absolutely not. Fucking, definitely not. Definitely, very, very nationalistic in the way is. I believe that we just need a complete overhaul of fucking American ideals, and of course that's easy to say, not so easy to implement. But like I say, it's types of things that are multi-generational that occur. It's basically you teach your kid to be a better you can't make a better future. You can make better people that will make a better future. You know what I mean? And that's really the only way we could do it, is just kind of change up the American ideals that seem to get indoctrinated into these immigrant families that like I said, granted there's a reason for closing borders, because there are a lot of people that do wish ill will on people that do come through the borders. There's a lot of people that that there's like a lot of fucking drugs and fucking shit like that come through the border. That's one reason that we need a lot more stringent fucking immigration. Build the wall, put cameras all over the motherfucker. Fucking at least that way fucking it's not as easy as just, well, let me lift up some barbed wire and go on under. At least that way it's if anything, fucking illegal immigration has to become more of an organized crime rather than just like, all right, buddy, let's go in a group and cross the river. I feel like that way, once something has organization, you could fight it a lot easier rather than just people staggering over randomly and things like that. But back to like I was saying about it being something that is a generational, that is kind of learned from the second generation, in which case that really just kind of points out that it's our American values. It's once they become Americanized, it seems like they become a bit of a sponge on the American tax system. You know what I mean?
I feel
to an extent,
you're talking. Go ahead.
To an extent, I agree, but I also think that, like I said, a lot of it reverts back to like the bell curve and cultural issues. I think watering down of your own system and your own people definitely leads to downfall. There's not a lot of common goals, a common set, morals and beliefs. And I'm definitely not going, any kind of God way, but it's just it used to be all about America first. I mean, obviously you had to pledge allegiance to the flag as a child.
Right.
I mean, it was just a different core.
That's weird and creepy, just throwing that in there.
Regardless, the point is that you grew up with pride and a love for country that you don't see now.
Right.
And a lot of that falls in line with like Common Core, No Child Left Behind, and also cultural water down and the fear of offending someone with your own culture in your own country.
Okay, well, I definitely agree with the last part there about culture, water downing, and everything. But what Brian said was that he started with the wall and then went on to finish with fixing values. Well, the wall is an actual policy. We can do something about that. When you're talking about fixing values, if that's even possible, we're talking about a generation. And like some people,
multi generations.
Right. Some people are saying like starting to see that shift. I don't know where the fuck they live, but okay, yeah, that's something you might be able to accomplish if that's like a direct goal. If it's even happening, I don't know. But when you like I said, Brian started with the wall thing. It's like, yeah, go ahead and build a wall. If you want to talk about reform, how about reforming the immigration policy first and foremost? So
But
there's all kinds of
into which way
tangible that you can actually write down, and
I think if you revert back to the pre-1965 Immigration Act, which was a quota, which is where everybody's welcome, but it's only a certain number of each, geographic area.
That would not fly today. Whether I agree with it or not, it just straight up would not fucking fly.
I mean, to me, that's the route to go, especially when you're talking about water shortages.
That's going over like a fart in church, dude. Sorry.
I mean, to me, but so is the alternative, which is open borders or let's deport kids that have lived here their entire life. I mean, you know what I mean? Both of those are, reprehensible as well, to one faction or the other.
So some kind of moderate touch in any direction would be welcome at this point, is kind of what we've all landed on then, right?
Right. Exactly. I mean, regardless of what way you lean, you should have to see that there's an issue. And even the people that are currently in power, just 8-9 years ago, were saying the exact same thing. People that are screaming open borders now, were preaching the repercussions of open borders then. So,
Yeah, but so I know. So what type of immigration reform policy would you propose? Devil King here. What?
I'm talking policy. Actually, make it easier for legal means of entry, and which would also mean more stringent means of getting the fucking creeps out. So. And the problem is none of that shit's happening. Like, either it's all or nothing with either one of the last two administrations, for that matter. And yeah, I do believe in a wall.
Well, I mean, it seemed like it was happening with some of the the Trump era fucking immigration policies, with the Remain in Mexico policy. That's they're fucking working their ass off to try and get overturned, but it seems like keeps getting blocked. Fortunately by judges like in Texas and here in Arizona, things like that. But it's basically it seems like that was a good plan, basically. If I can remain in Mexico until you get through the immigration policy, and then
well, don't worry, Kamala came out and basically reinstituted it, if you don't remember.
I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come. The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal methods by which migration can and should occur. But we, as one of our priorities, will discourage illegal migration. And I believe if you come to our border, you will be turned back.
Just stay home. Don't come. Don't come. Don't tell me not to come. I'm coming, bitch.
Right. So. And she's winking. She's saying don't come, and winks between every word like, don't come.
It's fucking Amber Heard on trial. So, don't come.
Brian, you're going to have a good time with this in editing, son.
My lady's gonna be pissed off at me. She's gonna be like, "Man, why the fuck? Why are you fucking editing so long? God damn it!" Right.
You gotta cut this whole asshole out of this whole fucking thing.
No, man. I wasn't going that route. I just mean we've done a lot of spin-off.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Well, we didn't even touch on the whole fucking chicken scratch note I got, I don't think. Because how much did we say about freedom? Jesus
It was,
Christ.
the Twitter sphere. That's
Yeah.
usually what he closes with.
Freedom.
Yeah. So yeah. Normally,
so fucking smart.
right. Normally, like I say, we like you're saying, we'll close with kind of going into what's trending with Twitter, but I kind of want to close with a bit of a white pill moment. Like I was saying, we're talking about new values and things like that. So where I'm becoming white pilled is the fact that, like we say, the young people today are coming into the worst economy since the 1970s. Like a young person today has zero hopes or aspirations of being able to buy a home before he's 30. A young person today has zero hopes and aspirations of being able to start a business, in this economy. Basically, like I said, young people are coming into the worst economy in like recent American, memorable history. Basically, the people that did come, were living in the economy of the 70s and stuff like that. I mean, they're for the most part, a lot of them are kind of getting into retirement and things like that now. We're like I say, they're starting to ask questions along with being locked down. All the fucking, it seems like politics has become pop culture, whether that's a good thing or bad thing. At least for the fact that the people are starting to pay attention. That the American fucking average fucking young person is starting to pay attention to their government instead of just listening to the panderings of someone saying, oh, like, we need free share, or like, oh, let me pluck on your heartstrings a little bit so you can send up in that wallet and fucking give us some more money so we could regulate other people's lives. I feel like people are starting to open up, or starting to realize the freedoms that have been lost through generation and generation of basically people being dumbed down to politics. So that I believe can sow the seeds of breeding a better society. Basically these younger people are going to start having kids, and they're going to start teaching their kids about how shitty it was when they first became adults, and basically they're going to start trying to teach their kids the things that they wished they had done when they were just getting into adulthood. And they're inherently they're going to end up teaching them about this type of economy, just like the hippie generation did when they were teaching their young about social injustice and stuff like that. And that's why there was the next generation of 90s parents that taught their
The
young
Gen X who made the Attitude Era.
right. And that's why we now have this whole young generation that thinks fucking blacks are being fucking injusticized, and fucking women are having their rights torn away from them and stuff like that. And it's over these tiny things that they're just blowing up to being these big social justice issues that were around in the days of the hippies. It's basically just they're passing down their ideals, but they're passing down the ideals of the Frankfurt School of fucking critical theory and shit like that. And they're basically passing down these ideals of victimhood, and basically they're the law of infection says negativity is going to, if you surround yourself with negativity, you're going to eventually become negative. We breed a society that's victimized and fucking thinks everything is negative, thinks that we're in the most racist country in the fucking world, thinks that everything, that we have an entire system that's 100% no decisions are made without determining the color of someone's skin. When we're breeding a generation, generations that believe that, it's of course it's breeding negativity that's going to lead to negative effects, like we've seen today with the whole social justice worries. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of people say that type of culture is going to end up eating itself, and it really seems like it is. And like I say, my white pill is just that this next generation is opening their eyes up to the tyranny of their government, and realizing that this is never the way that it was supposed to be. This is not freedom.
Just in the last year, there's been a couple different instances where just, people have like reverted back to the old ways, like wanting that Attitude Era back again, or even, creating something new. Like if you look at Eric July, Young Ripa, and his whole comic thing that he's doing right now, he's getting shit on by the mainstream media. And this motherfucker made $3 million in 2 days or some shit like that, just trying to push back from this shit. And that's just like a pre-order campaign already paid for. And people are getting sick of it, like younger people are, because I mean, they're not happy. I mean, misery does love company. That's the biggest problem, is misery loves company. So it's just breaking people away from, it's just like, wow, I don't have to be miserable. So let's not do that.
All right.
I believe the mass majority are miserable on purpose. I mean,
Right,
we've all
because-
had different woes and issues in
Don't
life,
have- no,
but
no.
they live in the richest country in the world, and they've lived so well their entire lives that they search for adversity. We spoke on this before, so they find it in stupid places. That's where you get this stuff like mayonnaise is racist and milk is racist, and I mean, and these are real articles. I mean, you can look these up, New York Times, and LA paper, and I mean, it's there for you to see. I mean, it's gotten to that point.
Yep. Definitely, man. Well, yeah, like I say, fucking good show, you guys, man. I think we touched on some really good topics. Fucking, like I say, fucking good to have you on the show finally. Like I say, fucking, we've been talking
Thank you
about
for
you
having me.
for a bit now, but it's good to see that we're starting to.
Oh, yeah, I'll get this more set up. I don't know. I kind of like my lighting and shit. So
Yeah, shit. Looks good, man.
I thought you guys wanted to smoke some bongs. What the fuck's going on over here?
Right? Shit, I'm a little bit low on the pot spectrum. Yeah, shit.
What a bum.
I gotta be a
Quality
conservative,
smoker. Trying to be a responsible adult, man.
man. Fucking inflation.
Yeah.
But all right, man. Well, you guys, we appreciate you guys checking out the show and everything. We're definitely gonna be doing a lot more, free flow conversations like this, a lot more often. We're gonna be hopping on Discord, stuff like that. We're already talking to some people, like I mentioned at the beginning, some of the ANCAT people that we talked to. Definitely gonna be a bit critical of our opening segments and things like that when we were talking about anarcho-capitalism. But it's good though. Like I say, it's ideas being shared.
So we got a whole channel on Discord, because people sometimes just use Discord. I got it open all the time just for gaming. I've never done anything else on it but gaming.
I'm completely new to Discord, man. I'm just learning all this shit. I watched like a 10-minute
like this
tutorial
main
yesterday.
purpose. I don't even know. So
I know a lot of they're saying it's for a bunch of different stuff. Like people use it for like study groups and things like that.
they also do censor, by the way. So
Oh yeah, of course. I mean they're I saw some video on them. They're pretty well linked to China. So China.
China.
Yeah, so there's that. But either way, like I say, it's seems like a good way to at least reach a different crowd. A lot of people on Discord are pretty leftist. So like I say, it seems like a pretty good at least the groups that I started jumping in and stuff like that. It seems like a pretty good way to get different perspectives of political philosophy and things like that. So
It's okay to listen to anybody too, unless you're on Facebook, dude.
right, I live my life off of the philosophy that everybody in the world just wants to. Everybody in the world just wants to offer their 2 cents. Everybody just wants to be heard. Everybody wants to share their opinions and things like that. And listen to them, man. Fucking doesn't matter. Everybody wants to share their 2 cents. Fucking take that 2 cents, and by the time you're fucking in your 30s, 40s, 50s, you're gonna be fucking rich with fucking different knowledge. Whether it's fucking dumb shit, at least you could fucking whether it's people telling you your dumb
Just
stories.
about that off in a party. Hook up, maybe.
All right, shit, I'm fucking balling out with fucking knowledge over here.
I kind of want your number, actually.
All right, that's right. Hey, we're on Skype already. What are you talking about? Fucking
Oh, shit.
there you go.
Oh, God.
There you go.
I wore this just for you.
All right, let's not get monkeypox, guys. All right.
Oh, Jesus.
Smell you later.
Later.